Hi everyone, I wanted to start this video out by thanking you all for the support on my last video. I was really surprised by how many people seemed to like it, and I really enjoyed reading everyone's comments. So today I wanted to talk about one of the main gameplay loops that's available right now, which is trade. It's one of the more developed parts of the game right now, but I think it could use a few improvements in some areas. Again, this video is going to have a lot of opinions, and I'd enjoy hearing what you guys have to say in the comments. So one of the bigger problems right now, and definitely one of the most talked about issues, is the fact that it's pretty common to lose your cargo for reasons outside of your control. A lot of suggestions have been made for fixing this, from people saying that they should just fix the 30Ks, which 30Ks are server crashes that give you an error code 3000, which is why they're called that. Yeah, so people have been suggesting that they just fix those, or that they add something like insurance. So for now, crash-free servers aren't really a realistic goal, and I think cargo insurance should be added at some point in the future, since that's a thing in real life. It might take a while to implement it. So in the short term, my favorite way that they could address these issues is for them to just improve the margins on trading. Like, they can make it so that you make the same profit for each run, but just decrease the investment you have to make that run. So say something like a titanium run where you have to invest 400,000 right now and you make around 70,000 in profit. If they could make it so that you only have to invest, I don't know, 200,000 and still make the same profit, it would make those losses a bit less devastating. Because right now the most profitable runs, like those titanium runs I just mentioned, your invested capital is equal to the profit from about 6 to 7 runs. So losing just one load sets you back a ton of runs. I think this risk to reward ratio would be good once you only have to worry about piracy, but right now, with the main risk being random and out of the control of players, I think it would make trading a more viable and fun option until we have that server stability to have better margins on all the runs. So to continue with the issue of viability, trading right now is only really the best option at the very highest end. A caterpillar running Laranite is still probably the fastest way to make money in the verse, but you have all the risks I talked about earlier. And the issue for me here is that it isn't even the best by a ton, because mining in a prospector, you can almost make the same amount of money per hour, and you don't have to risk any credits. It costs over 1 million credits to fill a caterpillar with Laranite, but to make almost the same amount of money by mining Quantanium in a prospector, you don't need any initial investment. I'd like to hear you guys' opinions on this though, because maybe it's fair, but I don't know, it just seems too risky to me. I have both and I tend to use my prospector more, at least recently. But what I do think for sure though is that smaller ships should be able to have more of a role in trading. So right now, if you have a freelancer and you run Laranite, which is again the best legal commodity, you only make about 20,000 credits a run, and you have to invest almost 200,000 credits to make those runs. It's kind of a hard sell to do that versus doing some claim jumper missions that the freelancer can easily handle, and you make almost as much money per mission, and you don't have to invest in anything. I know the freelancer isn't a massive ship, so you wouldn't really expect to get rich trading with it, but its role is listed as medium freight, so there should be some way for it to fulfill that role and have that be a viable option. So the solution I've heard people talk about for this, which I really like, is to add Quantanium as a commodity to trade. This could help because they could make it so that you can only transport it in small quantities, which would give these smaller ships a role. And the way that they could restrict it to small quantities is they could have a mechanic like having the Quantanium become more volatile as you have more and more of it on a ship, or they could even just have it be a hard limit from some safety regulation that's imposed by the UEE or whatever governing body they want to have it be. Hauling this volatile stuff for a bigger premium could help give these smaller cargo ships a role, at least until smuggling gets added. The last thing that I'd really like, personally, is to have more variety in the trade routes that are available. This is really only a minor thing, because you can really trade in lots of different places, but it's usually the fastest to just go from a moon around a planet to that planet's landing zone. There isn't really much of a reason to go from the moons of one planet to another planet. So I think they could add some variety pretty easily by just having commodity prices vary on different planets. If they made it profitable, for example, to haul titanium from Ariel around Hurston to Microtech, I think it would be cool, because then you have the option to either bring it back to Lorville like normal, but you could bring it to Microtech for a higher premium. Maybe this is a bad idea because no one would want to spend that much time in Quantum, but I would enjoy it being an option, because a lot of the reason I like trade is just because you can go and see all of the beautiful places in Star Citizen, so if they make it profitable to do so as well, then that would be great. And also from a realism standpoint, it kind of makes sense to me that some commodities would vary in availability and price over these long distances, so there could be some price difference that you could take advantage of. Okay, so even though I spent the last few minutes talking about ways they could improve trade, I've still been enjoying it a lot over the past few days. So the run that I've been doing a lot is a pretty popular run, and it's running scrap from Hurl 3 to Port Olisar. The main reason I'm doing this one is because it's very reliable. Your cargo is only vulnerable for a quick quantum jump back from Hurl 3, and the one time I did get a 30k, I should have lost my stuff because I was about 5,000 meters away from Port Olisar, but I logged back on and I was magically in Port Olisar with my cargo. This probably won't always be the case if you're really unlucky, but it seems like they're working on 30k related issues like this on the back end, because I'd never seen that happen before. But when I logged back on, my ship was stored with all the cargo intact, and I was on Port Olisar even though I never landed. So if you guys have had this happen, I'd like to hear, because I had never seen that before. But another thing, like I was talking about with the margins earlier, the margins on this are pretty good. Your initial investment is only around 75,000, and you make about 25,000 to 30,000 per run. So you're only down 3 runs if you happen to lose a load. The downsides though are that this run is really only viable if you have a Caterpillar or Carrack, just because they have the capacity required to make it profitable. And another thing I ran into is there's still some pad rammers at Port Olisar. I'm really looking for that change in 3.10 that's going to send pad rammers straight to prison. But thankfully the Avenger and Glaive that tried it harmlessly blew up on my Caterpillar. It's surprisingly durable. I have also tried doing some other runs with Titanium, and even a really risky one with Laranite, where I risked all of my money on it, which you're never supposed to do. But other than that one time when the outpost magically had enough Laranite for me to fill my Caterpillar, the stock and prices have been really bad. I think that's especially bad this month because the subscribers all have Carracks. Again, I don't want to sound like I'm bashing trading because I really enjoy it, but I think a few of these changes could be easy to implement and they would improve the accessibility, variety, and viability of trading quite a bit. Alright, well, I hope you enjoyed this video, and please consider subscribing. I'm almost finished doing another quick tips video, so if you subscribe, you'll know right when I end up posting it. Thanks for watching.
You are clear to launch.
Hello and welcome aboard your Drake interplanetary craft. Gear
Please
up.
visit again.
Quantum drive is now off. Quantum drive is now on. Quantum drive is now off. Landing gear down.
Please proceed to assigned landing bay. Landing complete. Have a pleasant stay.